Welcome once again to Unboxing Unscripted, Unfiltered. And as always, this video, wait, not always. This video is not brought to you by Kunuko Coffee Roasters, but instead, this is presented to you by Jeff. Yes, Jeff has returned once again, despite me being insufferable, being an uneducated talking head or hands, wherever it may be. And despite being an unsubscriber for the longest while, Jeff has come back and subjected himself to verbal and auditory abuse, because that's the kind of person he is. And I admire his dedication despite hearing my voice over and over again. I bet he's been playing my videos over and over again in his dungeon. But Jeff, we salute you for the dedication. And this video is proof that you don't have to pay me to be a sponsor of this video. Like Kunuko Coffee Roasters, they don't pay me to promote their brand. It's simply because I like their coffee. And sometimes the truth hurts. So as Jeff found out. Anyway, enough with Jeff. It's time for another microbrand to unbox. Now, as I'm unboxing this and already wasted 1.5 minutes of your time, I wanted to remind everybody that this is just the unboxing video and it's the raw and unfiltered reaction to the watch that I get, okay? And if you want the actual video review, you have to stay tuned for the next coming days or sometimes weeks, and to see the actual detailed review of this watch. And also, I'm going to try to, not have some epileptic hands or something like that. So, try to keep it slow this time to show you every facet of the watch, even if this is just my first initial impression of it. Okay, and this is coming from Viqueria, and those guys from Italy who also have not learned their lesson. They're still selling their watches way too cheap for their own good. And last time they sent me this very nice pen. I keep using that still. And they sent me another one. And this one is a prototype. And again, they're also not paying me to say anything about this watch. In fact, I need to return this watch to them. But you know what? I also like abuse. I like to abuse myself for the sake of you viewers. Huh? So it's your fault, not mine. Okay. So let's get rid of that. That's not. They still use the same roll, okay? And there we have it. Oh, okay. They sent us extra straps this time around. That's good. It's nice. And there we are. It's their Trecento once again, but this time, what is that dial? I've never seen that dial. Oh wait, it is a Meteorite dial. Ah, okay. There we are. It's a Meteorite dial. I don't know if you could hear my son playing guitar there, but anyway, that's you see the professionalism here, guys. Okay, now this watch is a massive watch. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 44mm watch, and you could see the Meteorite dial there. It has some blue accents on the hands, as you can tell. It's a massive watch. From the sides, you could see how thick that is. I think this is 14mm, if I'm not mistaken. That's a big chunky boy right there. See the other side. Let's take it like slowly. Okay, you could see there's also a helium escape valve, so you know that this is a 300-meter water resistant. Well, let's be honest there. Not all helium escape valve watches have that kind of depth rating, but this one, if I'm not mistaken, is 300 meters of water resistance. And despite such, you still have a display case back. Now, that display case back is not displaying anything that's very, very good looking. I mean, if you're in this channel, if you've been surfing around micro brands and other watches, you know that this is your bare Miyota movement right there. But it's still a GMT movement. Very bare, not so decorated on the rotors. Most micro brands would even decorate that rotor. But you know, Viqueria is trying to ensure that they capture their market, and their market is the more affordable dive watch. And that's what they're trying to compete with here. And despite being a monster of a watch, it still has these polished center links. These polished center links gives it a little bit of a luxurious appeal to it that is not so expensive to execute. And they're using that standard Seiko class that I still hate a lot. Now this Seiko class, just for everyone's information, is still being used by many micro brands. They use this to save money. There's no other way around it. You use this to save money because it costs very little and it's mass produced and it's very easy to just put on and your engraved branding on its closing and folding over mechanism. But hey, you know, at the price point that Viqueria is selling their watches, it's still a relatively big bargain, considering that you're getting a 300-meter water resistant watch. Now, if only my son would stop playing, maybe I'll hear myself talking. But anyway, let's put it on the wrist. Let's go ahead and put this on the wrist. Okay, he actually stopped, so wait. Let's listen to the bezel first. Very nice click there. And look, notice this is a GMT watch with a unidirectional bezel. Okay, keep that in mind. Most GMT watches, they use a bidirectional bezel. This one uses a unidirectional bezel that kind of stays true to the diver identity of this watch. Okay, but there's a little bit of play there. You can see that there's a little bit of play. Yeah, now I'm going to be like, my OCD is going to kick in there because I overshot the bezel there. Hold on, sorry about that, guys. There you go. It's back to 12, and you can see in the inside, in the rehouse, you can see the 24-hour markings there. 24, and of course this is a colors GMT. There you have it. So that's the second step, and the first step is of course the GMT hand. Now if it's a true GMT, a traveler's GMT, it would be the hour hand that you'll be able to set, and not a GMT hand. But so there you go, that's a little bit of a difference there. And of course this movement is the relatively cheaper movement, that's why they choose to use that. Okay, let's put that on the wrist. I think they put the clasp the wrong way. Anyway, there you go. That's massive, guys. That's 44 millimeters. I think that's 44. I think that's, it looks like a 44 to me. Massive, massive watch. And I've worn a few of these already, a couple of these already. And let's see, you know, that's also messing me up. Okay, let's reverse that. Okay, quick release spring bars here, which is good. At least they're offering that, unlike Venezianico, who still refuses to. Well, not most of their Venezianico watches, they still don't have quick release spring bars. At least Viqueria has followed the lead. There you go. Now that's more like it. That feels natural, but you still need to resize that. There you go. Still. And these are not using screw pins, so you're gonna have to hammer these down and take off those links. These are friction fit pins that you need to contend with. And that is one very reflective and refraction ridden crystal. Very nice. So again, comment down below, let me know what you guys think about this new version of the Trecento. That's 300 meters of water resistance, 300 meters, Trecento to 300, I think that's what it meant. And this time around, they have these newer, unusual dials. These are limited runs. Well, most of Viqueria's watches are limited anyway in the first place, but this one's a little bit more special with that kind of dial. So comment down below, let me know what you guys think about this Trecento from Viqueria. Hi, Jeff.